also to say that personally, I'm sorry for the delay in starting up the form. I want to believe that as quickly as possible we run through the program and call it a day. But before this, actually, I want us to go through the session of procedure for a Colonel presentation and brief, if it is here. And then, somebody, I don't know the kind of Colonel you have here, but I think a Colonel audio CC there. Good. One audio CC there. And there may not be an audio there. People who are our commission. Okay. Chike.
Anyị Chineke tọọ ji a n'otu ka anyị taa n'ime n'otu n'aha Jizọs.
Ebe anyị nọ n'ọdịghị ịgba, anyị etuo ya aba a na-etu.
Ọjị gbara ise. Onye na-asị na Chukwu mere MD ebele maka na ọ ka eweta ọkụkọ.
Let us remember that cities are not mere collections of buildings and roads. Cities are vibrant ecosystems of human potential and innovation. They are our future. In our challenging times of conflict, economic hardships, and climate disasters, cities have proven their resilient time and time again. Cities have emerged as islands of hope, where communities unite, ideas flourish, and dreams are achieved. UN Habitat, the United Nations Human Settlements Program, works with cities and communities to unlock their potential and empower them to create a better urban future. With job opportunities, green spaces, and respect for diversity. With your support, we can tell the real story about cities. Let us share examples of cities as drivers of growth and recovery. Let us recognize that resilient urban economies are not only about financing growth and competing to be at the top. It is also about nurturing the human spirit, embracing innovation, putting technology to serve human needs, and creating inclusive societies. Many nations recognize this and have pledged support for the sustainable development of cities and human settlements. The second United Nations Habitat Assembly in June this year reaffirmed housing as a basic human right and mandated us to develop recommendations for affordable housing. We will also develop international guidelines for people-centered smart cities and urban biodiversity. Let us work together to implement these policies and recommendations. As we embark on the journey, remember that the power to transform our cities lies within each one of us. Together, we can build resilient urban economies that stand as beacons of hope, lighting the way towards a brighter, more inclusive, and sustainable future for all. Happy World Habitat Day 2023.
You go to a place like Yedu, they said that almost like it was abandoned for some time upon the assumption of duty by myself. We made sure that we brought the contractor back. And as we speak now, they have done not less than 5 kilometers of asphalt roads in that estate, making people to rush and start, building, development, their floors in the estate and put it market. So also and others. I'm sure that within a very short time, our other estates at Isiago, the Savannah Estate 1, 2, and Extension Day 3, they are coming back to life. Coming back to life. So also is the Liberation Estate that has been there for a very long time. Liberation is now receiving serious attention by ASHI. And in the course of time, within another 6 months, we would have seen a lot of changes at Liberation. So also it's our Green Valley Estate, and so on and forth. So these are the things we can proudly look back and say, I think we are actually marching forward in terms of development activities in our estate, in terms of also provision of providing dwelling houses and making them really livable. At the state level, for instance, also, government is transforming Ogogo. It has to abandon that is long and infusing life into it with the necessary provision and upgrades of facilities, including schools, hospitals, and recreational areas. In addition, improvements are being made in many other cities, towns, and communities through the urban regeneration program of the Solution government. We shall be listening to our guest speakers. Why I say guest speakers? The major guest speaker, principal guest speaker, and the adjuvant. The two of them will be talking to us on the importance of this day called World Habitat Day, and on the theme also selected for the day, which is resilient economies, cities and drivers of growth and recovery and related subject areas. I want us to relax and enjoy the session. Thank you very much.
We are looking at the theme. I think the theme is resilient urban economies, okay, and cities as what? Drivers of growth and recovery. If we look at this theme, we begin to ask ourselves, is there anything that is needed to be explained out? And for me, I don't think there is any. Because they use the most common, words to frame the sentence. We know what urban economy is talk about. When we talk about our nature as an urban economy, we talk about we talk about Oka and some other ones that are emerging. And then we also look at using cities as drivers and recovery elements. If you ask me, I will say that for us to begin to bring this thing home, the first thing we begin to think about will be what are the key elements that we need to have in cities as to make the cities to come to the level that they can drive and recover for us those urban places, for them to become what they're supposed to be. What are those things we are looking in cities as elements? If we talk about that, we begin to look at sustainable infrastructural growth. Not just infrastructural growth, but sustainable at that point. It must be sustainable. It is not that we have infrastructure today, then in 2 years' time, everywhere will be in a mess. Is it sustainable? And then we ask ourselves, do we have them now? Yes. I think the most important thing that the leadership in Anambra State today had done was to start from day one, to key into the theme of today's event. When Prof, the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles came up with his blueprint, telling us about using of a livable, sustainable, prosperous, smart mega city where everybody, including you and I, will live, work, get educated, that have knowledge imparted, okay, and also enjoy. You can now understand that we are keying in very, very well. We are not wasting time to key in. So that's on that. Then the next element is neat and sustainable environment. I am happy that the Commissioner for Environment is here. When you see Mr. Commissioner for Environment going around the state talking about picking up plastics and all waste not, so that everybody will be happy. So that's on that. And coming from there, we know that if we do everything in the state, we build every house, all kinds of houses, just like what you have in Onitsha. But I'm happy that through the Urban Regeneration Council, that Mr. Governor is through some parts of Onitsha, especially Frederick, what you'll be seeing will be the kind of streets you find overseas. That's what you'll be seeing. Because every plan is on the way. In fact, action has commenced through the road construction and other things to come. Your architect must make sure that the drawing for that building will be such that the building itself will not take more than 65% of this place. Go and check well what our new housing policy is talking about. But the key elements I've mentioned to you: buildability, 65%, not more than that. The other 35 will be for green veg. Within the green veg are flowers, grass, and ornamental trees, and other trees, economical trees. And coming from there, the catchment pit. So, all those. Having said this, I want to welcome you once more to this year's Habitat Day, and to say that by the time we'll be coming for that of next year, I promise you that on your own, you will be standing here to say, yes, all that we said this year have come to manifestation. Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Emily, for inviting me here today to celebrate with you the World Habitat Day. Somehow, the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Housing should be working hand in hand. But when you have to talk about habitat, you can't talk about habitat and shelter without environment where they live. So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of responsibility that I address you today on this occasion of World Habitat Day. Just like stated by the MD, it's an annual event that takes place every first Monday of October every year. This event provides us with a significant opportunity to reflect on the state of our urban environment and the pivotal role they play in our economic growth and recovery. The theme for this year, resilient urban economies, cities as drivers of growth and recovery, is particularly pertinent to the challenges and opportunities we face here in Anambra State. We must look at the need to build cities. At the same time, we must look at the need to maintain a good balance in the ecosystem. And that is why the corporation is vigorously promoting tree planting. In fact, last year, the government launched a tree planting campaign in the state, where he emphasized that each household must plant at least 2 trees every year. And he has not only done this, he has also led by the front by providing tree seedlings, coconut tree seedlings, other palm tree seedlings to numerous households, not more than 1 million tree seedlings to be planted in the state. It is a collective endeavor that demands the active involvement of all stakeholders, government officials, business leaders, community members, and individuals. Let us therefore unite in our efforts to ensure that our cities continue to thrive, contributing to the well-being of all our citizens. By so doing, we can create a brighter, more resilient future for Anambra State, where our urban areas are not only drivers of growth, but also models of sustainability, inclusivity, and environmental stewardship. Thank you.
You know, I can see quite a good number of people are joining me in my training. You know, I remain an MC all the time. Great. What we are discussing today, you know, I'm a layman. And habitat and all these. I'm a layman. I'm just going to chip in a few words as a layman. I have an attitude towards some of these United Nations days where we gather people every year and say, it's, for example, today, World Habitat Day, and we're just, paying lip service and sloganeering about the habitat. I simply go to man's hierarchy of needs. Water, light, food, and house. That's shelter. I think what we should be dwelling on should be availability of shelter. Availability of shelter, affordability of shelter. Because, believe you me, today, you know how much a bag of cement is? A bag of cement, almost 6,000 naira. I heard that Boaz cement said that it's crashed me to 3,500. But not my problem. That's not January. So I think emphasis should be placed on the availability of shelter. You see, some of these things have to do with elsewhere. Not, and I think when they generate these teams in the Western world, we should also come here and domesticate these teams to suit our nuances here. Because these teams don't really suit our nuances. Thank God, Mr. Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. You recall that when he resumed, he went straight to Boboko. Because as we talk about the availability of shelter, we also talk about protecting the environment, and that is what the government is doing at Boboko. Changing the entire ecosystem and landscape of Boboko. At least today, you see that people are, having a feel of government, Now, what do we do ourselves to protect, this habitat or our shelter? What do we do ourselves, even within the little, enclave that we live? I learned something from, the Ministry of Environment, a few months that I worked under the commission. This thing they call the 3 R's. Especially when we talk about the plastics, which is one of the biggest menace to the environment there. That is to reduce the use of plastics, reuse your plastics, and then recycle. I think there's a fourth one they put there, the selection, your ability to select the ones that are, degradable and the ones that are non-degradable. These are things we ought to do ourselves to protect our children. When you're leaving the house, do you put off the lights? When you're running the water, do you, take much you can use and then put it off? When you're leaving the office, do you shut it? When you don't need the AC, you just, why don't you just put it off and use the fan, open the windows just like we did now? These are some of the critical issues we should be looking at, other than smoke engineering. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening.
Our stakeholders, it's important to model this have come. You are part of this engagement, you are part of this session. I want to call one of you. Any person that's interested to come, take my phone to him and let you back.
I want to start by appreciating the Anambra State Housing Development Corporation for offering us this opportunity to attend this worldwide celebration. I want to plead, because the chairman said, the MD said one or two people. No, today is our day. We should be allowed to ventilate our ideas towards helping our environment. Issues of the environment are of global concern. But even the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, who should be talking about going to heaven, is today talking about the environment in an official document entitled Laudato Si', which talks about environment change, global warming, and the rest of it. So, coming down now to our own specific environment, I live at Ngozika, out in the state, and I serve as the chairman. I want to say that we have peculiar environmental challenges, some of which we have brought to the knowledge of the concerned authorities.
I'm very happy because they mentioned a lot of things that are striking our mind. But I always have one thing to put in what they have said. And I think the time is now. Because if you look at Udo Housing Estate Phase 2, that's a very good program. Wonderfully built by God. But however, the housing corporation sold all the land without making provision for all these things we are talking about today. Because we are traveling to Côte d'Ivoire, where the French people live. Look at most of the estates, the topography of the estate. They provided central sewage system. They provided a central gas system for the use of those estates. And most of the estates, both private and government estates in Anambra State today, the ones springing up. Like that of Ngozika, Rockland Phase 2, Dubai Estate, and many of them. Because what I'm saying, I'm conversant with most of those places. Because I major in soil and water resources and agriculture and rural development. So I want to tell the Commission for Housing and Environment that time is now. Set up a committee to advise the government on setting up, when those private estate owners come and money sent to provide space for, maybe solar system for the estate, central sewage system, so that we move away from collecting revenues from these people without actually trying to provide all this infrastructure. And again, many of them, Why can't we develop something like development partners in terms of infrastructure? All these contractors that are giving money, new roads and other things, can be galvanized. We can be removing 1% of what we pay there and spread them to form those development infrastructure in terms of roads and all that. I think we make a headway providing all those things. And that would be beautiful for our environment. When we come back next year for World Habitat Day, we say, oh yes, we have started this there and it's working.
For honoring our invitation to attend this function, this event, and for doing us proud in their various respective presentations. I will first start with the Chido. That's good. Yeah, what is it?
I want to thank you again for organizing this program. Chike and Co. You've been very great, and we are very proud of you. For giving all this, I call it certificate, but not the one of Chicago. So I think we are very, very happy about it. We want to appreciate you for doing so. I would like a situation where by next year there will be an improvement on what has happened today. For those living in various estates, by next year you will come in and you tell us that a lot of improvements have been there, and that the corporation has achieved a lot. That's what we are hoping to hear from you by next year.
For you, what you say, I don't believe in saying what I want to do. But I want to say what I have done. Don't worry. Next year, you will see more. You are certainly going to see more in our various revenue, just like that. Now, madam, good or thanks, finally. Yeah. I just want to call on the CLO, the Chief Legal, Head of Legal Department, and the Secretary of the Corporation. This is the President calling to give a final vote of thanks.
Thank you, standing on already established protocol, I want to thank so immensely our Honorable Commissioner for Housing for being here. Housing is the supervisory ministry of this corporation. I also thank immensely the Commissioner for Environment, the Managing Director of ABS, and the purple. Sorry, sir. Special advisor on markets impact, and all other our residents association representative and every other members, and also the staff of Housing Corporation for raising this occasion. I know that World Habitat Day is a yearly event, and I thank so immensely our amiable MD for who is, you said, is working very hard to give a complete U-turn to the what we used to know as housing. And I believe that within a year or so, you have a better story to tell about Housing Corporation. And to end on this note, I want to tell us here that it is our collective and individual responsibilities to shape the future of our cities and towns by providing affordable houses for all and making them also habitable by making them our environment eco-friendly. Thank you for coming.